Good day, viewers and listeners, boys and girls. Welcome back to our English lessons. I am Mahmoud Sen. Today we are going to continue from where we stopped on part of speech. We've started looking at the parts of speech. We've looked at nouns, and now today I am going to introduce you to adjectives. But before we looked at adjective, the last time we looked at collective nouns and I gave you a homework. I want us to have a review of that homework. The homework is here on your screen. You can confirm your answers as we move along. Find the collective noun. Instructions. I read. Underline the collective noun in each sentence. Underline the collective noun in each sentence. The first one, which is number 1. A pride of lions chased a herd of zebras. A pride of lions chased a herd of zebras. Looking at this sentence, there are two collective nouns. The first one is pride, a group of lions. We say a pride of lions. And the other collective noun is herd, which is a group of zebras, a herd of zebras. So pride and herd are the two collective nouns in that sentence. The second one, number 2, the crowd cheered the team. The crowd cheered the team. Here, the two collective nouns are crowd, meaning a group of people, and team, a group of players. So these are the two collective nouns, crowd and team. The third one, she jumbled the deck of cards. She jumbled the deck of cards. Looking at this sentence, we have one collective noun, and that is deck, meaning a group of cards. So the collective noun in that sentence is deck. And the fourth question, which is the last question, mother bought a big bunch of bananas. Mother bought a big bunch of bananas. Here you've seen the collective noun being underlined. That is bunch. A group of bananas, we say bunch of bananas. So the collective noun in that sentence is bunch. So that's the homework, and I hope you were able to get them all right. Now we move on onto our today's topic, which is adjectives. We are going to look at adjectives, but before we do anything, I have an early work activity for you. And here I will want you to get your pencils and your books with you, and then we quickly do this early work activity. It is saying, write at least 3 words to describe each of the following nouns. Write 3 words to describe each of the following nouns. And the nouns are an orange, an orange. That's the first noun. And the next one is a donkey. A donkey, which is the name of an animal. And the third noun is gele gele. You all know gele gele. Gele gele, yes. And the fourth one is a market. So these are the nouns that I want you to use at least three words to describe them, to talk about their looks. Now, starting with the first one, which is an orange. You will agree with me that these are some of the words that some of you might use to describe them. For example, when we look at orange, we might say it is green or yellow, sour or sweet, round. These are some of the words that are used to describe the orange, an orange rather, green or yellow, sour or sweet, round, and juicy. These are some of the descriptions. Now we look at a donkey. We can talk about the number of legs it has. 4 legs. 4 legs. It is also hairy and also a big animal. These are some of the words that you can use to describe a donkey. 4 legs, hairy, big. And now we move on to gele gele. Some people will say it is noisy. They make a lot of noise. And also smoky. And the other one is what? Very slow. This is why some of us don't want to get into these gele geles. So these are some of the words to describe gele gele. And now we move to the last noun, that is a market. Always busy. Busy. And you have a lot of people in the market that makes the market congested and also noisy. Wherever we have many people, most of the time the place is noisy. And the last one, which is brown or black, comes to the donkey. So these are some of your descriptions. Green. Let's start with the first noun, which is an orange. Green or yellow, sour or sweet, round, juicy. These are some of the things, words that we can use to describe them. Now we move on to the next one, which is donkey. 4 legs, hairy, big, brown or black. And now gele gele, noisy, smoky, very slow. Market, busy, congested, noisy. These words that we have used to describe the nouns are what we call adjectives. Adjectives are words used to describe nouns or pronouns. They give more detail or more information about people, places, animals, or things. Adjectives modify or describe nouns in 3 ways by answering one of these questions. The first one, what kind of? If we look at a sentence and we ask ourselves what kind of, that could help us to identify the adjective in the sentence. Example, we enjoyed the birthday party. We enjoyed the birthday party. Here, which type of party are we talking about? Birthday. So birthday is the adjective here which is describing the type of party, which is describing party. The next question is how many? We can also ask ourselves how many to identify the adjective. Example, we sang 3 songs. We sang 3 songs. How many songs? How many? 3. So 3 is an adjective. Here the number of songs that we sang is 3. So 3 is the adjective that is describing songs. And the third question is which one or which ones. Example, he owns that book. He owns that book. Which book? Which one? That book. So that here is describing book, which is the noun. So that is also an adjective. Here is another example. These 5 young students are clever and hardworking. These 5 young students are clever and hardworking. Looking at this sentence, let us ask ourselves the questions again. What kind of students? Young, clever, hardworking. So these are all adjectives describing what kind of students. How many of them? 5 is telling us now the number of students, which is 5. Which one? These. So you can see these 3 questions helps us to identify the adjectives in the sentence. What kind of, how many, which one. So basically, adjectives tell us one of these. The size of something. Is it large, small, little? The number, 2, 3, you name it. How something feels like. Soft, rough. How something sounds like. Loud or low. It also tells us how something looks like. For example, pretty, ugly. And it also tells us shape, the shape of things. Is it round? Is it rectangular? Good. And it also tells us the color. So basically, adjectives tell us all of these things. The size, the number, how something feels like, how something sounds like, the looks, shape or color. Now here, we are going to look at the first activity to find the adjectives. And here, take note that adjectives describe a person, place, animal, thing, or feeling. Example, the green grass is growing. The green grass is growing. Here, the word green is an adjective. Why? It is telling us the color of the grass, which is the noun in the sentence. So meaning green is describing grass. It's telling us the color of the grass. Now we move on to the exercise itself. Instructions. Circle the adjectives in each sentence. Now we look at the sentences. The first one, which is number 1. Giraffes eat leaves from tall trees. And looking at these sentences, the noun is being underlined for you. So you are going to find the adjective that describes that noun. Now, number 1, giraffes eat leaves from tall trees. Here the noun underlined is trees. Now, looking at this sentence, which of the words is describing tree? Tall. Good. Looking at the sentence, you will realize that tall is the word that is describing. Tall is the word that is describing the tree. It's telling us the size of the tree. So, in this sentence, you are going to circle tall. Now we move on to the second one. Does loud music hurt your ears? Does loud music hurt your ears? And here the underlying noun is what? Music. Which of the words is describing music here? Loud. Which is telling us the sound. How the music sounds. So loud is the word that is describing music. So therefore loud is the adjective in that sentence. So we circle loud. Now we move on to the third question, number 3. My purple sock has a hole in it. My purple sock has a hole in it. What is the color of the sock? Purple. So therefore, purple is the adjective describing sock. So in that sentence, you circle purple. We continue. Number 4. Fatu became sleepy, so she went to bed early. Fatu became sleepy, so she went to bed early. Looking at this sentence rather, the underlying noun or pronoun is she. And this pronoun, she, who are we referring to here? Fatu. And which of the words here describe how she feels? Sleepy. So therefore, the adjective that is describing she is sleepy, which tells us how she feels. Good. And the fifth question, number 5. When he saw the girl, he thought she was pretty. When she saw the girl, she thought she was pretty. And here, she is also underlined. The pronoun she is underlined. Which of the words is describing she here? Pretty. The looks. Pretty is describing how she looks. So pretty is the adjective in that sentence. Now we move on to activity 2. Now we move on to Activity 2. Find what the adjective describes. You still have a reminder here. Adjectives are often used to describe nouns or pronouns. Example, the pretty bird sang. The pretty bird sang. Here, looking at the sentence, pretty is being underlined. Pretty is being underlined. So pretty is describing what is pretty describing here. Which noun is pretty describing? Bird. So this is what we mean. You are going to find the adjective, what the adjective describes. Here, pretty describes bird. Now the instructions. In each sentence below, an adjective is underlined. Circle the noun that is described by the adjective. I repeat, in each sentence below, an adjective is underlined. Circle the noun that is described by the adjective. And now the first one. The little mouse was under bed. The little mouse was under the bed. The little mouse was under the bed. And here the underlying noun, the underlying adjective is little. That is the adjective. What is little describing in this sentence? Mouse. So little is describing mouse, the noun mouse. So we are going to circle the noun mouse. Now we move to number 2. I have a blue pencil. I have a blue pencil. And the underlying adjective is blue. The noun that blue is describing here in this sentence is pencil. So the noun pencil is what blue is describing. Blue pencil. So the noun being described is pencil. Number 3, my dog is little but has a big head. My dog is little but has a big head. And here the underlying adjective is big. Which of the nouns is big describing here? Head. Big is describing the noun head. 4. The tree in the forest was tall and green. The tree in the forest was tall and green. And here, the adjectives underlined is tall and green. These two. Now, let's identify the noun that tall and green describes. Here, the tree in the forest was tall and green. So the noun tall and green is describing here is tree. Tree is telling us the size. Tall and green is telling us the size and the color of the tree. And now the fifth one, Burama didn't like the movie, but either thought it was funny. Burama didn't like the movie, but either thought it was funny. And the underlined adjective is funny. And here, funny is describing movie. So therefore, the noun that funny is describing is movie. So we circle movie. Now, I believe you now know what adjectives are, that they describe nouns and pronouns. And just to give you a rundown, a quick flash up, remember that they tell us the size, number, how something feels like, how something sounds like, the looks, or how something looks like, shape, or color. So therefore, I have a homework for you. Get them in your books, and then when we come back again in our next lesson, we will look at the corrections of this homework. Instructions. In each sentence, underline the adjective and circle the noun that it described. In each sentence, underline the adjective and circle the noun that it described. The first sentence reads, Mother cooked a delicious meal. Mother cooked a delicious meal. Number two, a swarm of bats could be seen in the dark sky. A swarm of bats could be seen in the dark sky. Number three, my dad loves his red hat. My dad loves his red hat. 4. An egg has an oval shape. An egg has an oval shape. And the fifth question, which is the last question as far as the homework is concerned, the mad scientist worked all night on his creation. The mad scientist worked all night on his creations. So these are the sentences. So please underline the adjective and circle the noun in each of them. Thank you so much for being with me. Until we meet again, have a nice day.